Congratulations! You've been thinking about buying a nice scooter for your family and you were this close to booking the Jupiter 110, but then Ather launched its own family scooter, the Rizta. And before you even realized it, TVS updated the Jupiter 110 and everyone came back raving about it. And that has left you wondering, sure, there's a solid price gap between the two of them, but that has left you wondering if you should just get the Rizta and hopefully save money over a period of time, or should you get the Jupiter 110 and save money right away? That's exactly what we're here for, so let's get started. Picture this. It's a nice Saturday evening and you want to make something at home. Something that everyone will eat. What would you make? Your first thought will actually be some paneer ki sabzi, no? And that is exactly what the Jupiter is. It is that paneer butter masala ki sabzi that everyone in your family loves and you can make it at home without a second thought. The Rizta, on the other hand, it's that pasta. That pasta which you know will be tasty, but it's still a risky thing to make because maybe not everyone in your family will like it. Get on the Jupiter 110 and it feels like that big couch in your living room. It's big, it's spacious, and most importantly, it's comfortable. It is the thing that everyone wants to sleep on. The Rizta, on the other hand, it's also big and spacious, but comfort is where it takes a back step. Riding with or without a pillion, on near perfect roads, it's just fine. But when you hit larger speed breakers, larger potholes, that's when you and the pillion, you both will start feeling everything right under you. And that's just not done. In that way, the Rizta feels like the wooden jhula in your veranda. It's nice, it's big, it's spacious, but the moment you lie down, the moment you want to get cozy, it'll remind you that it's just not as good as that sofa. Family scooters need to have those extreme levels of plushness and comfort, and that is definitely something the Rizta misses out on. So be it you, your grandparents, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, everyone will prefer getting on the Jupiter a lot more than the Rizta in levels of outright comfort. But if we talk about pillion comfort in terms of ergonomics, it's actually the Rizta. The seat is wider and Ather has been nailing these integrated foot pegs since quite a while now. They are forward set and they put the pillion in a very comfortable posture. But on the whole, I found a lot more pillions wanting to get on the Jupiter because of that suspension. They were ready to put up with the slightly less comfortable ergonomics for the Jupiter's much better, much softer suspension. As for the brakes, I actually really like the Jupiter's brakes. They feel direct and the braking starts from the moment you get on them. They might feel a tad bit sharp for maybe the older people in your house, but they will get used to it quickly and the initial bite is still not too sharp to scare them away. The Rizta's brakes, on the other hand, have a bit more play before the braking actually kicks in. And when you combine that with the fact that it's the heavier of the two, it means that you will be sitting on the brakes a bit more anxiously, ready to squeeze them at the first sign of danger. Talk about space and practicality. If one is Rohit Sharma, the other is Virat Kohli. Neck to neck, and if one has an edge in something, the other offers something else to counter that. Talk about the Rizta. Now both have massive boots, but talk about the Rizta. This is actually deeper and it can accommodate a full-size international helmet. But then again, you're going to be carrying around the charger, which already eats up into a lot of the boot space. The Jupiter, on the other hand, it doesn't have a deep enough boot, but the boot is still massive and there's no charger to carry around. So in terms of stock boot spaces, the Jupiter still has an edge. But I said stock for a reason, and it's not a lost battle for the Rizta, and that's because Ather offers a lot of storage accessories if you want them. This, for example, and there's even an organizer for the boot in which you can nicely fold up the charger and still have a lot of storage space left for other things. So if you're ready to shell out the extra money, the Rizta will actually end up having more storage space than the Jupiter. And then there's the weight. At 119 kilos, the Rizta is actually 13 kilos heavier than the Jupiter. Dimensions wise as well, it is a bit longer but a fair bit wider than the Jupiter. So be it filtering through traffic or moving it around in parking lots, the Rizta will feel like the bigger, the heavier scooter of the two. But then again, with its reverse mode and hill hold system, it actually makes up for its weight to a certain extent. As I said, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, it's your choice. Now, let's just get the Rizta Smart Eco Riding mode right out of the equation because honestly, it's just slow. In fact, it took 16.7 seconds to go from 0 to 40 kmph and a massive 21.45 seconds to go from 20 to 50 kmph. So let's just say it's a riding mode made for the days when you're on a battery crunch and don't want to be left stranded in the middle of nowhere. But even in zip mode, the Rizta actually feels quite slow, and it was actually slower than the Jupiter 110 in all our acceleration tests. The new Jupiter, on the other hand, has this fantastic mid-range punch, and up until about 50 to 60 kmph, it feels properly fast for a 110cc scooter. So be it your family members peacefully commuting around town, or be it you riding spiritedly to work every day, this definitely feels like the more fun of the two. The Jupiter also has the iGo Assist system, which provides a bit of extra torque when you want it, making it much easier to make quick overtakes. Yeah, I said versus because no console will blow you away. For starters, the Jupiter's vertical console just doesn't feel very nice. There's empty blank space on both sides and it just feels like a waste of space. And then there's just how busy the top part of the console is. Each time you look down, sometimes it says assist ready, sometimes it shows the real world fuel economy, and it'll annoy the younger riders, it'll confuse the older riders, and it could have definitely been executed better. As for the Rizta's console, it's just fine. Sometimes it can feel a little bit laggy, but then that's okay. My issue is that the features you see online are all a part of the Pro Pack, which is not cheap by any means. While I'm okay without fancy gizmos, my issue is that the really important features like navigation, Bluetooth connectivity, reverse mode, fall safe, and even hill hold, they're all a part of the Pro Pack and do not come as standard even on the top end Ather Rizta. Having to pay for these extra means that it further affects the Rizta's value for money proposition, but more about that later. Earlier I said the Jupiter was a nice paneer butter masala dish, while the Rizta, it was a nice pasta. And that's the same for their prices as well. While you can get a nice paneer dish for say around 150 rupees, you'll have to shell out 30 to 40% more for a nice pasta dish, and similarly, the Jupiter's prices start from around rupees 74,000 and go up to 87,000 rupees. As for the Rizta, the prices begin from rupees 1,10,000 and go up to almost 1,47,000 rupees. And as I said, the Rizta's prices do not include the additional Pro Pack, which will cost you between 13 and 20,000 rupees depending on the variant you're going for. Now when TVS announced the prices of the Jupiter, we were a bit annoyed because TVS still refused to sell the disc variant without Bluetooth connectivity for those who wanted the extra safety of a disc brake but without the unnecessary fancy features. But even with that, the TVS Jupiter's top variant with everything still costs a lot less than the Rizta's base variant with the Pro Pack. The Rizta's higher asking price is actually not what bothers me. EVs will be more expensive than their ICE rivals, and it's understandable. In fact, given the petrol savings with the Rizta, you can actually recover the extra cost in about 3 to 4 years depending on how much you ride. So the higher price, that's actually not the bigger issue. The bigger issue for me was the suspension. See, that's a scooter that's meant to be ridden by everyone in your family, and it just can't be that bouncy. The biggest reason to recommend the Rizta would be obviously the fuel savings, but also how it stands out, how funky it is, and how it stands out in the world of Jupiters and Activas. But otherwise, the Jupiter looks more family oriented, is cheaper, is more comfortable, has more features as standard, and is pretty much on par in terms of space and practicality. So as it turns out, the key to win over an Indian household is still this paneer butter masala.